Hey guys, it's another Saturday and it's very early in the morning, but I'm excited for you to see our big news. Yay! We're on the road again! Yay! We're going to Cape Coral, but we're not going to tell you why just yet.
It's a surprise.
Surprise! Excited!
3 hours later.
We made it to John's house. Well, here's our big surprise! Yay! So excited! Let's see what's inside.
Yeah. It's up to the floorboards.
Check it out, guys. So here's the inside. We got a lot of work to do, but you know what? I'm excited. Check it out. Lots of cleaning to do. Several projects we can work on here. I am so excited. We did some cleaning. I hope the boat looks a little bit cleaner than it did before. I can't really tell. This is what it looks like now. We're gonna have to come back in like a couple of weeks. So we want to power wash all of this. Power wash the top side and the yellow part. I forget, I don't know what this is called. The side, okay? This side, this. We're gonna power wash that. And then power wash the inside as well because there's a lot of mold growing in there. So I don't know if you'll be able to see. Can you see that? Okay, so down here is the bilge, I think it's called. And down there was a lot of water that you saw earlier. So we got all that water out of there, and now there's just like sludge down there that we have to clean. There's also a lot of mold growing. I scrubbed this side off pretty good. I tried my best with the cleaner, but it's just really difficult. It needs to be power washed. I think this leads to the water. I think I see the tiller right there. I don't know much about boats, but I don't know if that hole's supposed to be there. But hey, what do I know, right? We're probably gonna have to take all this part out because we think it's a little small. All this needs to be cleaned out. There's the inside. That cabinet John said used to be a dry ice cooler, a dry ice fridge, dry ice cooler or something. And I think this is supposed to be the sink. I'm not really sure. And yes, again, there's lots of mold.
Okay.
I'm already tired. I'm already sore. I'm gonna feel it tomorrow. It's so exciting. I'm so excited. You are not able to understand how excited I am.
All the stuff up.
Hey, you wanna see something?
Wanna see what?
Come check this out.
Wow.
That was my head.
That was my head.
I'm seeing stars. The birds are twittering around my head. Ouch. Anyway. Look. Look. Come look.
Are you gonna show me all the oysters growing inside the engine well?
No.
What are you showing me?
Come here. Did you know there's a hole?
That's the engine well. I explained to you about how the outboard goes down there.
See, I told you guys, what do I know?
I showed you pictures of it. Of how the outboard goes down there.
Oh.
The outboard goes down there.
I forgot because I hit my head.
No. Here comes the boom.
Here comes the boom. Isn't that a song?
Yes, it is.
Hi. So, we're leaving John's house, and John is like so nice. Like, he's such a great guy. He's funny. He's nice.
Had a lot of funny stories.
Yeah.
And he's an interesting guy. It worked out really well. We got on really well. And yeah, so we think it's going to take us a number of weekends.
Yes.
And we've got the free dock space right now. So it's not costing anything to keep it here while we fix it up.
It's only going to take us so long because it takes us 3 hours to get down here.
And we really didn't even get a full day's working because we don't have the right stuff yet. We were just kind of making lists of what we needed to do.
Yeah, I tried scrubbing some mold off, but it was like hardly coming off. And then I tried using a different spray bottle. I don't know if this is like interesting or not for you,
But in the meantime, if anyone wants to buy an O'Day Day Sailor,
we're selling the salty dog.
we'll put it up for sale. It's already
It's
up on
so
Craigslist.
sad. I'm so sad we're selling it. I'm so sad. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Bimini Crickets. We hope you liked it. If you liked it, please like it, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this episode.
All right, we're on our way home.
Thank you again. You are so awesome. The van is kind of ghetto too, but we love it anyway. Bye.
Now hold on a second here.
What?
That's not what really happened.
Well, isn't it fine the way it is?
I think that we should start at the beginning here. Now, when I first saw the ad on Craigslist, it listed a boat. It didn't say much about the condition, but understandably, it's a free boat. I'm not going to complain too much. It listed a lot of extras about VHF and radios and stuff like that. So I started communicating with the owner to try and get an idea. He sent me pictures and he told me he wanted me to know what the inside looked like. And I saw these pictures and I saw plywood, and I'm fine with plywood. And when I got there, he said to me that everything was fine inside the boat until the bilge pump quit working. And he had never said anything about that before. But then,
Really?
yes. And I said to him, well, when did the bilge pump start working? And he said, a year ago. And I was like, I didn't want to say like, a year ago, are you serious? You know, it's a free boat. But the top deck had serious cracks in several places. He knew the crack was there and he knew rainwater was getting in. And of course, he can't go down there and confirm it. He's in a wheelchair, he's obviously not going to go down and climb in the boat himself.
Yeah, I don't think he knew the extent of it though.
Carrie is the most enthusiastic, brave, hardworking person that I know. And she was excited about having the boat. And I didn't want to rain on her parade, so I was kind of like, yeah, it's a boat, yeah, it's a free boat. And
I was so excited.
after a while, I kind of had to say to her, you know, this is kind of heartbreaking. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. And I felt like I literally felt like I was going to be taking out someone else's garbage.
And honestly, I was so excited because I thought it was going to be a lot of great content for you guys to watch. Like watch us start from scratch.
Break our back.
We're gonna repair the boat. It's gonna be awesome.
She says to me,
it's gonna be beautiful.
"You're not afraid of a little hard work, are you?" She said. I said, "No, I'm afraid of a lot of hard work." So it would have made great content for us breaking our back doing this.
And I thought it was gonna be a lot of fun, like therapeutic. Like after I had sat there for several hours scrubbing the mold off of that boat, like I felt good afterwards. Like hard work is good for the spirit, I feel like. That's the kind of person I am. Like, but it was gonna be like a lot of work, and I feel like a lot of expense to repair that boat.
But there were a lot of extra things that were included in the ad, as far as VHF, radio. He offered me a lot of extra on top of that. Nav system, it had good working sails, like in good condition. There were 2 brand new Lumar winches on it, nice ones, and the original winches were really not that good. I was discussing with them some of the accommodations and how it closed off the cockpit, and I thought maybe if we cut all that stuff out, we'd have more room in the cockpit. I thought that was logical because the kind of dashboard thing that was built there was built for him. I thought we could remove that stuff back to the original cockpit and salvage the pieces from it. And
then we got an email,
a message from him
John
saying that he was thinking of keeping the winches. And I didn't want to say, well, like, you know, the winches are the most valuable part of the boat. So he wanted the winches for someone else. I felt like a heel. I felt like a total heel. Like, I mean, technically, they're his winches. It's still his boat. He never signed the title over to me or anything like that. And
You couldn't find the title.
And really, we're talking about such an insane amount of work. And he was talking about getting the boat painted before we left and all this other work that was needed. And it was like, this is going to take a long time. He said it was all right if it sits at his dock. And I don't know if that was costing him any money or anything like that. It may have been. But I don't want to start out a working relationship in this way where he was kind of like, oh, I don't know where the title is. I'll try and find the title. And okay, so I don't have title on the boat. He could take it back at any time. And obviously he feels like he can take back pieces of it at any time. So I didn't want to get into that. So.
And that kind of soured my mood because in my mind, I had already scrubbed a lot of the mold off, and like it was a few hours that I was in there sweating.
Cleaning out the sludge in his bilge.
Yeah, like I grabbed the sludge with my bare hands and I was like getting it out. And Tony was like, isn't that gross? And I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine. You know, it was our boat. It was gonna be our boat, and I was happy to do the work.
And I was beginning to sour on it. Even before we left, I took her aside and said, you know, I'm just heartbroken. This isn't what we thought it was going to be. And I was trying to make the best of it. She always makes the best out of it. And then, out of the blue, he emails me after that whole thing with the winches. I called him and he talked to him, and he was like, no, you know, you can have the winches, fine, it's fine. You know. And then he was talking about the steering gear for that steering wheel. He was like, yeah, and that guy knows someone else who needs a steering wheel gear. And I'm like, I wasn't going to use the steering wheel gear for anything, that's for sure. Then he emails and he says, after meeting us, that he's decided that we shouldn't have the boat. It's funny because he seemed to be so involved in like, oh, he's saying, oh, well, you're going to have to paint the boat. And it's like, it's a free boat. He's giving it to me. He's going to sign it over to me. What does he care whether it's painted or not? Why does he want it painted before he leaves? Before the boat leaves, he wants the boat painted. Why is he directing work on the boat? It's like he was still emotionally attached to it.
He seemed a bit fickle to me. Like when we were talking about like what needs to happen, he was like, oh, what do you guys think needs to be done first? And we were like, oh, well, like I thought the inside needed to be done first because that was the biggest challenge I felt. And Tony thought, well, probably the outside. And we're going back and forth about, not arguing, but like, you know, bouncing off each other like ideas. And then he was like, well, I think you should start with the outside. And then he was like, well, you know, it's your boat. You can do whatever you want, but it's your boat. And so I thought maybe he was like, well, maybe these people can have the boat for free, but what about these other 5 people that want parts from our boat? Well, maybe they, well, let's just forget about the whole thing. We'll just forget this. Don't ever contact me again, by the way.
That's what he said in his email. Don't ever contact me again. I left my battery in my bilge pump. It was a small 12-volt battery in a little bilge pump. I left.
Honestly, I'm upset about that. Like, I
my
feel like,
contractor bags, a pack
Yeah.
of contractor bags.
well, contractor bags, but the bilge pump and the battery, like, we could have used that for the salty dog, because we're selling it, and this wonderful guy Jeff could have used that stuff, like, or we could have kept it for ourselves, but we could have used that, and I feel like he got the better end of the stick because we did so much cleaning on it, and then he gets the boat, our free work, and the battery and the bilge pump. Like, I'm kind of sour about that. I don't know. I don't like to say bad things about people normally, but like that kind of made me a little upset that he was like, don't ever contact me again, and the bilge pump and the battery is mine, and so I'll forget about that.
He probably doesn't even know the bilge pump, the battery, or the boat. I doubt he's been able to go down and look, or anyone else has gone down and looked, or anyone else would know that the battery is mine, who would go down and look for him. So I'm not saying that he stole my bilge pump and battery. I left them there, and maybe I shouldn't have done that, especially the way he was so, like, fickle about certain things, like not wanting me to take anything home.
Anyway, that's what happened. I'm sorry that this episode turned out to be like a ranting episode at the end there.
I'm just
but
glad we don't have that boat.
yeah, we'll move on to something
That boat would be
better.
an albatross around our neck.
Yeah,
It was just...
we'll get something better. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bimini Crickets, even though it's not what we thought it was gonna be. If you enjoyed, please leave it a like, comment, and subscribe, please. Please. Very please. With a cherry on top. Bye.
Bye.